especially at Fort Irwin, who have joined us today out in California. And guys, you know, we always like to get all our soldiers involved, so we're going to send it out to the desert right now for the first debate question.
Hey guys, got a question for you. Where does Derrick Henry rank as the NFL MVP this season?
Go ahead, Max.
Well, I love me some Derrick Henry, and I apologize to either Casey Joyner, the football scientist, to Warren Sharp from Sharp Analytics. I have them both on my radio show, the Max Kellerman Show, 2 Eastern on ESPN Radio, Stephen A., as you know. And I forgot which one told me, but it's all about the offensive line. Good offense, good run blocking. You could make a bad back look good. Bad run blocking, a great back will look bad. The real value of a running back like Derrick Henry is on his 300th carry. He's as effective as on his first. It frees up a roster spot or two to stock with other positions. It gives you more depth and versatility. That's the actual value of a running back. I don't think they can be an MVP in this NFL.
You're probably right. I would tell you that he's probably like 4th or 5th on the list behind various quarterbacks. Obviously, when you consider Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, those names come to mind. But I would tell you that he's right up there. I think he's top 5, but I certainly wouldn't put him higher than 4th.
All right, we got another question. Fort Irwin, here we come.
Hey, First Take. My question today is, how confident are you the Seahawks will win the NFC?
I'm not confident at all. Their defense is absolutely positively pathetic. They got to get that. They got to get that shored up. Jamal Adams, I love the fact that they got him there. But Pete Carroll, he's got a defensive background. He's a former defensive coordinator. He's a Super Bowl champion on the collegiate level. He's a Super Bowl champion with the Seattle Seahawks. He's won the national championship on the collegiate level at USC. We know Pete Carroll to be an elite coach. I never thought in my wildest dreams he'd have a defense so horrific. There's no way in hell the Seattle Seahawks are going to win as long as they're playing defense like this, regardless of DK Metcalf and Russell Wilson and Tyler Lockett.
I agree, although I think that Jamal Adams' disappointing season, Stephen A., has to do with injury and then rustiness. And injury. I think that was the tipping point for me. When they got Jamal Adams, I switched my preseason pick Saints to Seahawks. Their defense has been horrendous. Russell Wilson can't be asked to win a shootout every single week and wind up winning the Super Bowl like that. But I do think Jamal Adams' play will improve as the season goes on, and that may be a tipping point on that defense to just keep them respectable enough to get them over the hump. That said, at this moment, I do not have a lot of confidence they get out of the NFC.
Seahawks defense have allowed the 2nd most yards in the NFL. All right, one more question here from our armed forces.
Hey, First Take, question for you. What should the Pats do with Cam Newton after his 1-year contract?
Depends on how he looks. If he shows he can throw the football more effectively and they get him additional weapons, you keep him. If not, you let him go and you just rebuild and retool. That's what you have to do.
I would say it really totally depends on their record. If they can snag a great quarterback in the draft because the roof falls in, then you move on and you draft and you rebuild. But otherwise, I will remind people, 2 plays away from a 5-3 record with 4 excellent wins. 2 plays away. Instead, they're 3-5. Their season's still not over. Let's see how it plays out. But unless you can do better than Cam, you keep him. And I don't think it's as easy as people think it is to do better than Cam.
Well, a lot of people have saying, Max, that maybe the Patriots should tank. Here's what Cam had to say about that. Take a listen.
Whatever is said on a radio station, in social media, and comments, I don't hear it. And I think for some things, it's good I don't hear it. And even better things, I don't hear it. I don't want to know. I don't want to hear the success. And just because we won, that doesn't mean I'm turning on First Take. I got my blinders on and I'm focused on continually getting better.
Stephen A.?
Well, I think he's lying, and it's not necessarily because of him. I think he's lying because all these guys have dudes in their inner circles that tell them something they heard us say. And I know it every time I run across somebody because they always got some idea of what I had to say. It's never in its full completion. It's never like he said this, and that. It's always a nugget that they say you said. And obviously folks feel that way about it. Cam's got guys in his inner circle that are watching stuff, and I sincerely doubt that they're keeping it from him.
Yeah, in this business, Stephen A., you can get taken out of context so much that you have to be careful what you say and everything, but you can't. You have to just say what you feel, and if people take it out of context, you really have to not care about it, right? Like, that's this business. Playing quarterback in the NFL, like being a great relief pitcher in baseball, a guy on the free throw line in basketball, you have to have a short memory. You have to tune out all the noise, and you have to stay focused. And Stephen A. Smith, whenever I used to hear Cam Newton talk, my BS meter was up, right? Like the antenna were up, like, ooh, that doesn't sound right. I don't think he believes that. He's editing ahead of time before the words come out of his mouth. He hasn't really drank the NFL Kool-Aid yet to really buy into like the way you're supposed to do it. I don't get that feeling anymore. When Cam Newton speaks now, I don't feel like he's editing it. What am I going to say to please them? He is telling you the truth, I believe, right now. And that's why I think this Patriots experience was so important for him, and we still don't know how it's going to end this year. Let's see. He sounds accountable to me from day one on this team.
I'm not accusing him. I'm not accusing him of being deceitful about not caring. I do believe that he's grown up and he can brush stuff off his shoulders in ways that was a struggle for him to do when he was younger. What I'm addressing in terms of its lack of veracity or whatever the case may be is when he's saying he doesn't hear it. I'm telling you that all of these guys got folks around them who hear something, and they make sure to tell the player. That's how it works in this day and age. That's all I meant by that.
Sure, of course.
There's no way he didn't hear anything.
No question.
You know, I might not care, but there's no way he didn't hear.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Maybe he's trying to follow the Patriot way and ignore the noise there, but it's nearly impossible with phones and social media and all those things. Real quickly, guys, we asked earlier at the top of the show, I asked you, should the Cowboys consider drafting a quarterback? They would potentially have the third pick right now. We asked everyone at home. 51% said absolutely not. Stephen A., I know it would be cheaper to draft a quarterback, but you don't think it would be the right choice.
I'm aspiring for the Dallas Cowboys to do anything that they can to elevate the hope for the fans before they plummet. See, I don't like it it is right now where they everybody knows they stink. They know they're not going anywhere. I mean, it's not even fun going at the Dallas Cowboys right now, the fans, that is. I feel sorry for them. I want their hopes up where they stick out their chests and they become emboldened and they start proclaiming how they're going to win a Super Bowl, and then they plummet. Right around like Thanksgiving into Christmas.
You may be in luck.
Right
Stephen
around
A.,
that time.
You may be in luck. You may be in luck because the Cowboys have a pretty good chance to host a playoff game this season still.
All they got to do is win 3 games.
They might host a playoff game.
All they got to do is win 5 games in 5 games in